we say salt is valuable? A lot of people wouldn't believe that it is, but it was super valuable at one point. Yeah, sorry.
Because they don't have fridges, so they need their meat not to taste gross, and it
Okay.
seasons it.
Yeah, so when you have rotten meat and you cook it, even if you are able to kill some of the germs, it's still going to taste horrible. So having salt is going to make it more palatable. It's going to make it more bearable to eat. And then what percentage of individuals did we say in Sierra Leone are illiterate?
35.
35 are illiterate?
65.
Okay, so we said
Oh.
35 were literate, which would then mean that 65% are illiterate. So if you take 100 people, 65 of them in Sierra Leone would not be able to read. And so that's going to lead to problems as far as like having a developed economy, having individuals that can fill like certain roles. They're going to struggle in that regard. They're not going to be able to communicate ideas. They're not going to be able to learn at the same level as someone who can learn, who can read information and read books.
That place sounds like a fancy French place, not like a...
Sierra Leone?
Yeah, not like a African.
It does. Okay, current events. What has happened in the last day or so?
The Jazz got their 50th win.
The Jazz got their 50th win. On that topic of the Jazz, did we talk in this class about Kyle Korver?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it like,
Racism.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wrote this essay on racism. One of the things that he highlighted in this essay, he'd said, basically, as a white man in America, you have certain benefits. So he's saying, like, since I'm a white guy, I should try and hold other white guys accountable for the things that they say and the things that they do. So there's this panel of a couple Jazz players, and they're just talking about race. I wanted to play maybe a minute or so of this, give you an idea. It's 19 minutes. You can go watch the rest of it on your own. I wanted to at least show a few parts from it.
But it doesn't feel like when it comes to like fans sometimes that like there's this code that they're like, you know, like this is out of bounds. Like I like game boos sometimes. Like it's all part of the game. It's part of the emotions of competition. But like there's this line that like it should be like understood that you don't cross.
It just shows a lack of respect from the fans, and really just across all boards. Because just with Russell Westbrook, he's been touched by a fan a couple of times. He's been, you know, they've called him out different names, and it's just like lack of respect. Like it's like we're in a zoo almost. You know, just perform. Don't say anything, just perform and it'll be all right. You know, we give y'all this amount of money, you know, just shut up and take it. Almost not like that.
You know, I was bothered by it, you know, just by being a player of the team and somebody being, you know,
Okay, so that idea that he was saying, just like shut up and take it, if fans are yelling all kinds of crazy things, saying that it's like they're in a zoo. It was within the last year, maybe year and a half, there was a really well-known NBA player who was tweeting about a politician that he didn't like, a really well-known politician. And there were some media commentators who were saying, just shut up and dribble the basketball. Don't talk about this. So that's the kind of idea that they're talking about, that some people believe that they should just be entertainers, they shouldn't give their political opinions. But as long as they're being respectful and civil, as long as they're not saying anything obscene, do they have a right to state their political opinions, to talk about events that are happening in the United States or around the world?
Duh,
Yeah, a lot of people would say they have as much right as any other citizen. I mean, they don't want to necessarily make their team look bad, so they should choose their words carefully. But there's nothing wrong with them having like a big platform and being viewed as like role models in a community, being viewed as role models by kids, to state ideas and speak up about things that they don't think are right. There's one point in the video where one of the guys said the fact that it was a Jazz fan and they're cheering us on, but then if they're yelling out like racist things to other players, it indicates like, yeah, even though they're cheering us on in the moment, if we were to be walking down the street and not have our Jazz jersey on, like they might be against us too because of the color of our skin. And so I thought that was an interesting idea that they had highlighted. I wanted to show you something with the Mueller report and Attorney General Barr. So we discussed how the report is going to be released to Congress. So this is Barr, by the way, but what he's claimed now is that he will give a redacted version of the Mueller report within the week. We know what redacted means.
Like a slimmed down version.
Okay, so you say like a slimmed down version, like a summary. So if you have a 20-page paper, you could do a redacted version that's 1 page. That's not going to contain everything. It's kind of the person's discretion what they include in it, like the main points they include. So there are members of the House Judiciary Committee that are ticked off about that, and they're claiming that they need to have the full report. So you have one chairman, he's promising a subpoena, so it's when they're requesting more of the report. And on that topic with the House of Representatives, yesterday there was a House Judiciary meeting that they were discussing white nationalism and hate crimes, and it turned way chaotic. YouTube, there was a live stream of the congressional hearing, and they had to disable the comments because there were a ton of anti-Semites, just anti-Jewish people that hopped on and were saying all kinds of ridiculous things. Keep in mind, like when you have people that are anti-Semitic, oftentimes they're going to be saying like extremely negative things about Jewish people, or maybe even like the Holocaust, like making light of it or making fun of it. And so it's serious stuff that people shouldn't joke about, but YouTube just disabled it. And I have no problem deleting that. I mean, I've been on YouTube and watched a lot of political videos. And there's literally an army of keyboard warriors who don't have jobs, and they sit at home all day just watching video after video and just commenting. There are tons of people that do that, and so middle of the day, the idea that there's thousands of people commenting anti-Semitic comments is definitely believable.